Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the most overhyped, hopium-filled, Ferrari-fueled Box F1 Fantasy Data Analysis Breakdown. My name is Quinton and welcome to this exciting report from Day 3 of Test 2 in Bahrain Formula 1 testing. I'm excited. Let's get into the actual numbers. And boy, have we got some hope to share with you. So, hi, like I said, my name is Quinton. I talk about Formula 1, data analysis, Formula 1 fantasy, and data-driven decisions to help you beat your mates in your F1 fantasy league. I hope the audio is a bit better. I know the lighting is a bit rubbish today, but my ring light is not available at the moment, but here we go. What's not important is my face. What is important is the data, and we're gonna get straight into that right now. So I've got my data report over here. I've run my scripts, I've crunched my numbers, and I have hyped myself up before recording this video. It's not the coffee. I am drinking coffee at the moment, but this is not coffee fueled. This is Ferrari hopium fueled content. So stick around. And starting with the most underwhelming performance of testing this year in general so far, Aston Martin. More like Aston Martyrs or something like that, but whatever. So they ran for 6 laps. And my script didn't even count it as timed laps because some of them were not complete, some of them were just partial laps or whatever. But that's the sad reality of the situation. Now, let's get into what I'm really excited about. I'll start with a disclaimer. I know Mercedes are sandbagging really hard, and the latest rumor I've heard is that McLaren have got an older version of the engine or the power unit that Mercedes are running. So McLaren will probably get a little bit of a boost in Melbourne, given that they will have the up-to-spec engine as stipulated by the guidelines. They need to have the most up-to-date spec engine by the time we go racing. So I expect McLaren to be moving up a little bit, but I'll reserve my opinion until the end of the video. But let's start here with the best lap of the day. Goes to no other than Charles Leclerc from Ferrari, the copium dealers. Now, Charles Leclerc set a magnificent lap of 91.992 seconds, or a 1:31.992. And if you look closely here, the theoretical best lap he could have set was just a little bit faster, a 31.905. We're talking about 900ths of a second here. So this is exciting. So he set up a very, very nice lap indeed for us. And if you look, his best 3 laps put together, the average lap time over his 3 best laps was a 3:2.24, which is crazy insane. Now, just give me 1 second here. My keyboard is acting up. Okay. Now, apologies and pardons. Here we go. I'll get better at the story, I promise. Now, we saw a ton of race simulations yesterday, and what is fascinating here, let me just scooch over here. Okay, here we go. Now let's look at the best race sim, a long race sim we've got here. We've got Russell with a 1:36.6 and Antonelli with a 1:36.8. So Mercedes, in my opinion, are still the team to beat despite their sandbagging. But look at Ferrari here. Leclerc with a 1:37.2. That is very respectable. If we think about last week and earlier this week, we were like high in the 138s, like a 138.8, 139s even. I'm not talking about the back markers, of course, they are down there. But have a look here. If we look at, so we've got Russell, Antonelli, whatever, Leclerc with a 137.2 race sim. But look at this mate, Bortoleto, coming out of nowhere with a 138. That's his best race sim, like 138. So this is not like the full race length simulation, but this was like a stint of 8 or more laps at more or less race fuel levels, it seems like, and a 138.0, which is very, very respectable indeed. Okay, now if we filter by this, of course, it changes just like slightly. If we look at the long race sim, we still have the Mercedes at the top, very close to each other, but Leclerc right there in the mix. And then we've got, of course, the McLarens, and you'll see Leclerc here. If we just scroll over to the left, one was on the hard and one was on the medium. So the Ferrari seems to be very good at managing tire deg. They drop off a little bit towards the end, but the medium and hards seem to suit them quite well. Another surprise here was Alpine. That's quite interesting. Let me just have a look. What was Alpine's best? 93.8. That is not bad indeed. Is that the best lap Russell set yesterday? That's not very fast. Okay. Yeah, seems like Mercedes did not want to draw any more attention to themselves than necessary. But yeah, I mean, even if you have a look here at Piastri, it's like he just did a 134.3. So I think they're like really, really sandbagging a lot, and we're just getting on with their race simulation. So it seems like they weren't too interested in setting fastest laps, but Charles Leclerc, you go for it, my man. We like it. And if we have a look here again at the best 3-lap averages, I'm quite happy with this here, with the Lindblad, with the Racing Bulls. That's quite a decent pace, a 134.31.5. That is quite respectable indeed. But I think someone to look out for when choosing your fantasy lineup is Audi. They've been quite reliable. They've got a very interesting aero package, and it seems like the rumors are saying that they have the biggest turbo on the grid at the moment. So it might be worthwhile to keep them in mind. Aston Martin, I'm going to stay very far away from them. Like Cadillac, the new team on the grid, who have no Formula 1 experience, have a much more reliable and faster car than Aston Martin, who have got millions of dollars invested. They've got Honda, that might not necessarily be a good thing, given their history before the Red Bull Prime era, but alas. Let's actually just look at how Cadillac was doing here. If we just go here and look at Cadillac's performance. So Bottas, his best lap, let's have a look. Not the most impressive ever, but like respectable. 135.3, quite good. Best 3-lap average, 135.4. And then on the hards, 139. Okay, that's a bit, yeah. And then Perez with a 141.1. But they all ran a lot of laps. They did a good job, it seems like. So I'm going to be looking out for them. Excuse me. And then it seems like as well they ran race simulation with Perez. Let's see how many laps. This was stint 9 during the day. Just trying to see if I see how many laps they got. So they got 17 laps in that one. Okay, so let's have a look. That will put them medium best 3 laps. Sorry, I've got a lot of columns. I overcomplicate my analysis. So here we go. So their best race simulation over the different stints they did was 141.8, which is respectable. It's not fast if you compare the other teams running at 130, 139s, 138s, 140s even. But they can actually complete a race distance, it seems like, other than a certain team. But yeah, it's been quite a disappointing preseason testing for all of us, hoping for Aston Martin, giving Alonso finally his next World Championship chance, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Now, so for me, the picture is becoming even more clear. Unless McLaren get like 0.2 or 0.4 of a second per lap just by the engine upgrade they're going to receive in Melbourne, Ferrari are clearly the second team, in my opinion. I would even have dared to say they're the fastest team at the moment, but just because Mercedes are sandbagging so much, we don't have a clear indication of what their true performance actually is. So we're going to have to wait and see. But my ranking now is Mercedes number 1, Ferrari second, and then between Red Bull and McLaren for third place. I think McLaren might make it to third purely because of the better power unit so far, but I think Red Bull has the most versatile aero package at the moment, and it seems like their lineup are adapting very well. Their lineup is adapting very well to the current regulation set. Verstappen, give him anything with 4 wheels and he's going to do well in it. And of course, Hadjar, he impressed a lot last year, so I'm sure he's going to do quite well, but we will see. Another talking point, Haas. My goodness, these guys are absolutely fantastic. I'm all on the Haas hype train. Look at this theoretical best lap. What? 133.2, and the best lap that was a 133.4. So they're within 0.2 of a second on their best lap compared to their theoretical best lap. And if you look at the average of the best 3 laps, 133.5, 133.5, and the fastest lap set the whole testing was a 131.99. They are very close. They are very close. They are clearly the 5th team, and I would put them in their own category, whatever you want to call it, above the rest. So the top 4, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, those two, for Red Bull, for McLaren, 3rd or 4th, however, whatever. But Haas, clearly the 5th fastest team, very reliable. And if you see their starts are incredible off the line. I mean, especially Ferrari as well. But like the Ferrari power unit is made to gain places at the start of the grid. So I'm kind of hoping they qualify a bit lower so we can get some nice overtake points in our Formula 1 fantasy team. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very spicy indeed. I'd love to have like Ferrari and Haas as my constructors even, because it's probably all I'm going to be able to afford with a 100 million starting budget. But yeah, I'd like to get a split between like a Mercedes driver perhaps and Haas. I mean, Behrman and Ocon just super consistent, both of them doing great performances, especially Behrman in my opinion. I put him slightly above Ocon at the moment. But of course, Ocon's got a lot more experience. But sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm just like so excited to go racing again. Like, dude, we are 2 weeks away from the first race in the season. It is extremely exciting. Now let's have a look here at the end. So on the like long race sims, we've got Behrman. Let's see, was he on a medium? No, it was. Oh, interesting. So he was the fastest on the hard. Fascinating. 139 flat. Okay, there might be they're like a few hundreds and thousandths of a second here. This thing rounds up to the nearest 10th. So on the hards, Behrman did a 139. Ocon did a 140.2 on the hard. Interesting. That is very interesting indeed. Okay, so I'm just processing this. Wow, okay. yeah, no, I'm excited for Haas, man. I'm very, very excited for Haas. Now, if we just clear all these, if I can just get my face out of the way, if we just clear all these filters very quickly, let's just have a look here. So, I'm gonna go based off the best long run average. So, and then we've got Mercedes, Ferrari, Audi, Ferrari, McLaren, Alpine, Haas, McLaren, Racing Bulls, Ocon, Haas. Yeah, this is very fascinating. So, and Williams, I am very, very disappointed with Williams, man. They just like fell off a cliff. Well, they never were on the edge of the cliff to start with. It seems like they've got quite a reliable power unit, of course, and they are getting the laps in. They're getting lots of mileage in. I think they have a lot more work to do on the aerodynamic side, and especially their floor seems to be quite basic, and they're overweight. I'm not sure how much. Like some people said 30-40 kgs. Okay, that was debunked, but I think we're looking probably about at least 8 to 12 kgs overweight. If they can start shaving those kilograms off, they're gonna surge up ahead. But I'd say our current it's tough. Let's see how we're gonna rate these guys. Let me just do this very quickly. Sorry, this is like very raw and unfiltered, but this is the content I like the most. So yeah, just gonna have to bear with me on this. I like looking at raw spreadsheets. So yeah, you're doing this with me. Thank you for being here. If you like this kind of thing, please be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and help other nerds like us find each other on here. Much appreciated. Now, I'm gonna go rank the teams based on this. So, we've got Mercedes, clear runner-up, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull. Interesting, very interesting. So it seems like Red Bull were not pushing very hard on their long runs. I'm sure they did some race simulations. I think their race pace is much better than their qualifying pace. It seems like they're quite good at with the tires, not the softs necessarily, but yeah. So my current ranking for the teams. Let's have a look here. It's like they're like mixed signals here. I'm like not even like sure what to how to read this. It's so hard. Okay, I won't read too much into Cadillac right here, but so we've got Ferrari, McLaren, Haas, Red Bull, then Mercedes. Like these guys, like they're definitely not third. So looking at all the signals together, I think we can deduce the following. In my opinion, we've got Mercedes at the top, Ferrari second, by just a little bit, like they're just behind them. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Red Bull are actually faster than McLaren come Melbourne. Yeah, so we've got Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, then Haas, and then it's a bit hard to say. Let me just look at my spreadsheet again, because like this is I want to say Audi, but it feels wrong. I'd say maybe like Alpine. I'll go Alpine, Audi, Williams, Cadillac. No, let's change that. So Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, Haas. It's tough. Let's. Sorry. Okay, Alpine, 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 Audi, whatever. Racing Bulls, Williams, Cadillac, Aston Martin. Sorry, not sorry, but like, you make your car better, please. Come on. Make a good car, Aston Martin. We want to see Alonso fighting for wins, please. We are begging you. As a, please, Lawrence Stroll, please give us some more, a few more millions, and I think we can get there, you know. But yeah, well, this was my very long, long-winded or winded, or however you want to say it, breakdown of the last day of testing in Bahrain. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. What's your analysis? Who do you think is where? What's the picking order? Who are you going to avoid in your Formula 1 fantasy team? And yeah, until next time, this was Quentin from Boxbox F1 Fantasy. The fantasy team helper tool website is coming soon. I'm just finalizing a few of the data crunching scripts on the back end, and we should have the beta version of the website up hopefully by the end of next week. So we have about a week before the actual race to start playing around with teams and such, and I'll do a video on that as well and how to use it, and looking forward to your feedback. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again next time. Cheerio.